Weather. So we're gonna go over U.S. weather first, and then we're gonna cover the tropics last. Since there's not too much, but there is something to watch. Okay, day 1, severe weather risk in this area. Monsoon active there, kind of, and severe weather through most of southern Missouri and surrounding areas. Slight 2 risk, slight 1, level 1 marginal risk. Kind of throughout the mid plains, going into the Midwest, going into the Southeast, and thunderstorms just surrounding that basically. I don't think areas and thunderstorms are gonna get bad weather. It's really when you get into the slide is when it really gets bad. Marginal is okay. Tornado. 2% tornado, not too bad. Wind, 15% chance of damaging winds possible, something to watch. Intensity's not too bad. 15% and 5% throughout areas. Hail, 5%. So nothing too terrible, something to watch. The new cities. Oh, that's cool. It's cool how I can just show all that, by the way. Okay, enough with the distractions. Let's go to our day 2 outlook now. So day 2, it's covering more of the southeast. On the Delmarva, you have some severe weather, level 2 slight. In Wisconsin, Minnesota, South Dakota, Nebraska, also slight. And areas in the dark green have to watch out, but they don't have to watch too much. And thunderstorm areas are kind of just to remind you. It could have some afternoon storms, but nothing too serious. Tornado, only 2%. Wind, 15%, like I said, around Delmarva. 5% throughout other areas, and hail, 15%, actually pretty high. That's actually pretty bad. Something to watch. Intensity 1, well, 5% right here, and 5% in Delmarva. Alright, let's do our day 3 now. So a little bit more the southeast, level 1 marginal risk throughout eastern Alabama, Georgia, most of South Carolina, and southeast North Carolina. Level 2 slide around Nebraska and marginal risk surrounding that. Can I not check? What do you mean I can't check? I'm guessing this is probabilistic. Okay, just 15% of like winds or something. Tornado. Do we have a day 4? I don't think it does day 4. Okay, that's it for that. Let's go to our HRRR, and this kind of basically covers the next 48 hours, so this is a great view on the US. I was only getting down to the 80s in the south. I did not want to do that. Or might go up to the 90s throughout most of the US. It may have a pocket of 60s in Pennsylvania and New York, hundreds in the south. It's probably going to be even hotter than today. Can I look at humidity? Dang. I have some afternoon storms though, cooling it down briefly. Lows in the 70s throughout most. Maybe some unlucky people get lows in the 80s. Then warms back up to about the hundreds again. Probably gonna be about the same as tomorrow, which is Thursday. Alright, let's look at our radar. So yeah, severe weather around there and here as well, severe weather. You have a low. The model's having kind of consistent that, showing some weather right here in Pennsylvania and New York, causing that cool down. But you got some thunderstorms in Kansas, but nothing too bad. So, yeah, this is in motion. Back again. So yeah, there's our HRRR. Let's look at our temperature outlook. Actually, we'll go over anomalies and then we'll do temperature. It's gonna be warm for most of us, and then 22nd we get a brief cool down. Stays for actually a little bit. Doesn't get quite to the southeast, but this puts a cool air and makes it closer to the southeast. The west is gonna be below average. Then it warms back up. Let me play this in motion for you. Might be a little fast, but there you go. Let's go to our temperature. So we've basically already covered all the way throughout Friday, so Saturday is going to be kind of a relief for the southeast. Not like up around 90s, but Southern Plains still going to be hot. Sunday might be the hottest day, honestly. Maybe even Monday. Then it gets a very cool day for the southeast for Wednesday. Even cooler, or about the same on Thursday, honestly. Some areas might not get out the 70s, but I don't think that's going to happen. South Carolina stays in the 70s for next Saturday. Southeast gets lucky with these temps. Warms back up though by the beginning of the month, so yeah, we hope that this can happen. Let me play this in motion. So there, that is our temperatures for the Euro. Let's look at our climate prediction thing. So December's gonna be below average for basically like half the Gulf Coast. And January is gonna get more below. February it's definitely downtrended again. But I definitely think it's gonna be cooler, not this. I don't think it's gonna be like that. I still don't buy this extreme flooding outcome in Florida in this little dry pocket right here. That's just not realistic. And same for February. Don't think this is going to happen, especially during a strong record-breaking El Nino. The southeast might get lucky, honestly, like the extreme southeast, like Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. So there's your winter, or your daily winter outlook. I don't think you see anybody do daily winter outlooks. Nobody does that. Okay, now we're at the part of the video where we are going to cover the tropics. We have made it to that part of the video now. Only 8.5 minutes. Not too bad. I was expecting it to be a little more, but we have a low off the coast. Okay, so what do we have here? I want to try and stay away from the GFS because it's, hold on. There's this little low right here. The GFS pushed this low as a hurricane, so I don't want to do that. I just don't want to. And then the Euro wants probably a Cat 1 high and tropical storm weekends, and then it re-strengthens it once it gets out of the Caribbean islands. And the Euro does kind of want the other system behind it as well. That's possible. Let's look at our upper dynamics. So extreme warm air across there. Extreme. This is kind of what's causing it to, because if it's like orange or red around here, it'll cause it to go in the US, but yeah, got a 579 line going all the way up to northern Quebec. It's honestly just crazy to see. So you have these cold air troughs, but by the time the system approaches, it'll be gone, and it'll be by a warm air trough. And you do have cool air right here as well. So yeah, let's look at our precipitation all the way out to September 3rd. Gonna be dry for most of Texas. Could be dry for this section right here near the Great Lakes. And yeah, this is what you expect. This is about average for basically the entire East Coast except that little green. Basically anything in green is basically like below average rainfall and could lead to and could have higher chances of drought. Now anything like red, orange, or yellow is way above average. Probably some flooding if it's on land and you're in those areas, but that's higher than 6 inches as you can see, so nothing to be concerned except if you're near the Darien Gap, like in Guatemala. I think that's where it is. Costa Rica. And the western shore of South America, the mountains. So you can watch this rain go into replay. There's our tropical system. Goes all the way out, so yeah. And these other models don't really show it. I guess I'll look at the Euro AI. Zero is usually the most accurate, honestly. It really likes that tropical wave. You don't usually see AI ensembles every day bring it down both a sub 1000 millibar low. You don't see it every day going down to a 991 millibar low either. It wants it to curve out to sea and bring significant impacts to Bermuda, so Bermuda should be on watch for this system, but also it's not like the best at consistency though. Looks like it was getting blocked, but it kind of breaks apart. There's a ground, that little cold air and that little warm air damming right there. Okay. Now let's go to the National Hurricane Center. Nothing. Just blank. I would expect them to highlight some stuff by now at least. Considering the tropical system that's coming off the coast. Satellite imagery. This is the first wave I think right now. That's not gonna get any stronger. Not I cannot go and I cannot go. I think I went last video without doing that. So 13 and a half minutes, we're doing good. Okay, so definitely does want to highlight. Okay, my battery's getting low. Wants to highlight something like here. You don't see this for a tropical system. We've never seen this season, so I think this could actually be the one that forms, and also another one that the Euro was kind of showing off here as well. Gotta watch Hawaii as well for more hurricanes, and of course eastern China as well. So that was issued yesterday as of August 18. Okay, that just went ahead and happened. Let's do our 18D. We should have most of it, honestly. Oh my gosh. It stopped. I don't have as much model guidance. It doesn't even... The GFS just still supports that first system, but I have to go back to 12Z, and this is like not even latest, so I might not even show you this because it's not latest info. But by now, then the Google DeepMind's gonna do random stuff again, so it's just gonna... Oh my gosh, it actually didn't. Wait, does it do it though? It doesn't. Yes. Let's go up to about, it does not even want that first wave at all. Then this is when you should expect more members. Yeah, the Google DeepMind really likes that tropical wave. It's definitely uptrended significantly. But it's also because that was like, even with it, it's still kind of uptrended. Like, let's zoom into all the lows right there. I think this also has 51 members. I guess I'll count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 8. So about like half, basically. I'm not counting. If I counted anything over, my apologies. What's to go to like a 940 low? There's one member that's like an outlier, and it already wants major 953 low. Right there. Let's compare this to our 12Z. Let me zoom in on the 12Z. I didn't really want anything. I wanted a 997. I wanted more like 980s though. What is this one? Also have, way more 980s, way more members overall, way more hurricane members. So yeah, we don't think that if you're watching from the Lesser Antilles, just don't focus on this. This is random stuff. This is just members. This actually wants to get 935 low. No chance this is happening. And of course the weekends as it goes to Canada. And definitely you only have 2 members that curve it out, and I think it's the same system 1 that gets it going. The Lesser Antilles should be on watch for this, because this is actually trended a lot further south, I would guess, from the 12Z. It has trended a lot further south as well. You don't have as much going for that curvature, so this is definitely something to watch for the Lesser Antilles. Basically all, maybe greater than 75% of the members want at least a sub 1,000 millibar low. One member puts a 947. I think we have another one at like a 940 or something. I can't exactly see that, so I'll have to zoom in more on that, but I think that's a 940. That is a 940 low. 963, 959. This brings significant impacts to the Lesser Antilles. It puts about, I'd say, a third of the members just directly into it. It brings this down to a 949 low, just south of the Dominican Republic. Could bring impacts. This just shows the center of the storm. So it could bring impacts to this area and flooding. This is just centers of the lows and the storm systems. 938 low. That's more likely curving north though. Let's compare this to our 12Z again. 12Z still wanted some of that, but it still it wanted that curvature north. And you see some of them do, but it's not as much, and it's further west overall. There you go. So this is September. Wow, you have actually quite a few members that bring it down to a 930 low. I thought there's another one right here that gets you really close. But they want these to curve. Some of these are like Cat 5s. Most of these put it at least around Cat 2 or Cat 3. Because half of these members, you have a 932 right there, dang. Because about half these members now put it below a 970, even a 960 low. So definitely something to watch. This signals are growing. It brings this down all the way to a 931. The U.S. East Coast, because it brings 20% of the members, so it could watch this. Even if we do have these storm systems, they could still bring impacts to the Outer Banks. Let's see. Give me a second. I'm not trying to edit this, so just look at the image, and if you know more about weather than Lucky, you can take a minute to look at this. But bit of a longer video. Guess we got more stuff to cover. So, yeah. Like half of these, if not even like 2/3, put it at least at a Cat 3, honestly. I don't think this is gonna happen, but it could be something realistic. You still have multiple lows that get like way close to comfort. Not direct impacts, but still. All these hot pinks and pinks are at least Cat 2, Cat 3 or greater, honestly. And a 940 low is probably about a Cat 4. Once you get to like the 920s like this is when you get to Cat 5 territory. You don't see 926 low every run. One of these just wants a direct impact. So this is definitely something to watch. It's definitely uptrended west. I mean, still wanted a few, but not as much of a signal. They kept most of them like kind of, like kind of out to sea. If you go back to the 06Z, you can kind of see that as well, even to the 00Z. I wanted actually a few to make it to the Gulf, but we don't buy that. And it still wants a few to make it to the Gulf, but we also don't buy that scenario. I want a low to just go really fast. Maybe bring it back to Spain. We don't think that's going to happen, but that's one member. There's like a 0.1% chance it brings impact to Spain. So, there you go on that. And we still got way more models to look at as well. And we also got to look at the MSN. So this is probably going to be our longest video yet for the weather coverage. As we actually have a lot more to talk about compared to a few days ago. Let's go to our Euro AI. Okay, good thing it didn't do the thing. It was on, that's 00Z. 18Z is our latest data. I don't know what this wave is. Maybe that's the first one. I don't think it, because I've been a little confused with this. I don't know, because none of those highlighted. It's also too late for it to be, but it also could be that system, but that first wave, but I don't think, but all the members basically don't strengthen it significantly. You see you have like all these lows. Some even bring it down to a 980, but a few bring it down sub 1000. Compare this to our 12Z, also an uptrend further south and west. Got a few that make it north, but not much. If the GEFS can load, then we can get a better idea on this. But you can already see how they're like, basically most of them are already starting to curve out north. As compared to our 12Z, definitely way much of an uptrend, so. The GFS and the R model actually downtrended on this, so GFS is the model you want. And I want a few to make it close to comfort to the US, but not much. I want one to just head on strike the keys, but we all know that ain't happening. Yeah, it's also trending more and west as well. Compared to our 06Z and our midnight run last night. Yeah, this is definitely creates more. I mean all the ones that put it as a yellow line are borderline hurricane. High and tropical storm, borderline hurricane. 959 low, I don't think that's possible. I don't think you can have a high and tropical storm with a 959 low. That's at least gotta be Cat 1, maybe Cat 2. But as you can see right here, doesn't look like these are weakening that fast, so could bring impacts to like Portugal, Spain, definitely not the UK, but yeah, so there you go on that. Let's hope the GEFS is working now. See, 12Z really does not want this wave. The GFS still hasn't updated. It still hasn't fixed its models yet. But let's look at the Google DeepMind. This is not... I hate when it does this. It's actually so annoying. Wait, is it different on the, of course not. Okay, this is 12Z. We don't have our 18Z, but I just find it so worth it to look at the 12Z even though. This is going to go to 180 hours out. Really highlights this wave. Definitely an uptrend. All these models have uptrend, I think, except the GFS ensembles and the GFS originally. Might as well just show you the GFS because the GFS does not, it like I said, really wants the first wave, but it does not even want the second wave. The Google DeepMind also kind of wants it to curve, but it also really wants like way more to get close to the US as well, like way more to get close for comfort. This one I don't think is happening, but could bring significant impacts to Atlantic Canada and southern Maine, and basically all these states as well, like that area. But yeah, only like 20 to 30% of members only do that. So like I said, something to watch. Not anything. Let's look at this 12Z. Also kind of wants this. I wouldn't be surprised if it ticked more west, honestly, for a 00Z run. But the 00Z run has just been known for downtrending these systems, but I really don't know what to expect. Let's look at our GFS, and then, yeah, because I will show you the GFS with the wind, so. There's our first system that gets going, makes it a hurricane. And GFS kind of wants it, but it does like random things. Like none of them, like very few. Like this is like a 10% scenario. I don't buy that. I don't buy any of this up here. I don't buy any of that. It just takes like a 1 day pause, basically. Like this is like an underachiever outliner. And this is kind of inconsistent. It's showing some vort right there. But yeah, just also another thing to watch. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. We're already at 28 minutes. It's way longer than normal. I don't even know what last video was, like 18 minutes or something, because yesterday we didn't have as much to cover. We didn't have as much to talk about. So yeah, because if I went through with everything, this video could probably be 40 minutes long. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you actually made it to the end, you're probably top 1.5% of people. 1 to 0.5% of people who actually make it this far. Don't forget to subscribe for more daily weather updates, and I'll be here again tomorrow night with more weather. Bye.